Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Either you are new or old here, I would like to thank you for staying with me in the next few minutes, and hopefully this will be helpful for you. My name is Madalina Vlad. I'm the CEO of MBV Group, an accounting company here in Romania, and not only accounting, we do also consultancy and attracting European funds for our clients. And today I propose a new topic for you, which I believe it's for your own interest and for your own good, hopefully, because we are talking here about 5 big categories of mistakes that can get you fined and how you can avoid all these mistakes. And for this, you must have a company here in Romania. It's mandatory. Otherwise, it's just for your information. So try to stay with me, and if there are any questions, anytime you can leave all the messages here and in the message area, or you can write us on office at mbv-tax.ro. Eventually one of our colleagues will answer to you as soon as possible, because in this period, only this week, we are a little bit more busy, but after that we will be back in answering within the same day. So thank you very much, and let's see what is this about. Accounting is, from my point of view, the backbone of every business. And yes, I'm not joking when I'm saying this. I'm totally serious. I'm telling you this because when something happens in accounting, there are some things that you may face and these things that you may solve that are shaken somehow. This is exactly how it happens in the real life when you have a backbone that is not okay and you need to check with the doctor. In this case, the checkup of the accounting is either with the fiscal authorities, which I hope you will not be there, and either with another fiscal consultant or with another fiscal colleague, which can help you in deciding which is best or not for your business. So in this video, we present the most common 5 mistakes that you may do. Either you keep it by yourself, your bookkeeping, either if you do it with an accounting company. But these are some mistakes that can be oftenly done and that can lead to some penalties at least, or fine in the worst case scenario. The first category is failure in submitting the tax return filed on time. Why I'm telling you this? Because here in Romania, there are a lot of declarations for each type of company. You may have a company with one declaration, but you can have companies, even if they are in the beginning of the business, with more than 5 types of declarations. So it's really important for each declaration to know what is the due date for submitting, what are the terms of paying, or if we are talking about payment, and so on. For example, we have here some declarations that are with the due line 15 of each month for the previous month. Usually these are those in commerce, because we declare what we did as acquisitions higher than 200,000 euros. So it's for bigger companies, but it's a declaration, a reporting that must be filled until 15 of each month. Also, if, for example, you have the usual declarations like employee declaration, VAT return, a microenterprise income tax, and so on. These usually should be submitted until 25th of each month for the previous month. It's so easy to forget about this deadline. It's like this. So In order to avoid to get a fine, because the fine is between 1,000 RON up to 5,000 RON, which means between 200 euros up to 1,000 euros, you should have a calendar in which you should put all these declarations. Of course, it would be much more easier if you collaborate with an accounting company or with an chartered accountant. But in case that you do not collaborate, you should take into consideration each term in order to avoid any fine. The second mistake that you can do easily and since the beginning is the lack of the mandatory accounting registers. You may wonder now, what are the mandatory accounting registers? There are not so many, but there is one in particular that put you with fine since the beginning, and this one is the unique control register, which must be taken in the first 30 days after the company was set up. This was my first fine, unfortunately, and that's why I do remember this moment from eternity, because I set up the company in at the end of November 2017, and after that the holidays came and I forgot. Honestly, I forgot for my company. And when I went back to fiscal authorities in January 2018, they said, no lady, you already are late, and they gave me 500 RON as fine. It's not much, but why to have it, and why to not to enjoy those money in a restaurant, for example? It's much more better to enjoy a dinner than to pay a penalty to fiscal authorities. So really take into consideration this term for accounting registers. This is the first and the only one that can generate you fines. The third category would be misclassification of income and expenses. Another common risk is the incorrect registration of the expenses of the company. All of the entrepreneurs are used to take invoices for everything. Even if they take a baby bed, for example, they want to put it in the accounting's file. No, it's not correct. Make and be really attentive to expense of the business and expense of yourself, because otherwise fiscal authorities may come and control, and that baby bed can take you out from the accounting file, and they can consider either it's an employee advantage which will be taxed with 45%, either it will be considered a non-deductible expense and it will be taxed with 16%. But in this case, in either case anyway, you will have to pay now the debt for, let's say, 5 years ago. And now you may imagine how big it will be, the interest and the penalties that you have for that amount for 5 years ago up to date. So that's why I do not recommend to put all the expenses on the company's accounting. You just stay a little bit and think, is this somehow justified on the expenses of the business or not? Is this related somehow with an operation that I had on the business or not? If you can find an excuse for that particular expense, in that case you can put it. Otherwise, it's not deductible. The fourth category of mistakes are incorrect invoices or missing invoices. For sure, missing invoice, it cannot be possible. We cannot deduct something in base that you paid only by bank statement of the company. No, you must keep the receipt. The other category that I've seen in the accounting of our clients is the incorrect invoices. It was no later than 2 or 3 days ago, in which one of the colleagues said that in e-invoice system, because now this one is the only one that is officially approved here in Romania, she found an invoice for a client, but the client said that the invoice is not his. Basically, what happened, the client for the invoices was really mistook one number in the fiscal identification code, and that generated already an invoice for somebody else. So you must be really careful and attentive to the data that you give to to the seller of the stores and so on. And also check before leaving and correct instantly, not waiting 1 or 2 weeks to do this. And the fifth category of mistakes that I can name you is the fact that you fail to pay on time taxes and VAT and so on to fiscal authorities. Not necessarily not paying at all, but paying on time. And when I'm saying paying on time, I'm not referring only on 25th of the month for the previous month. Try to pay a little bit earlier, because, for example, if you pay on 22nd, the money that goes from your bank to national institutions here in Romania have a delay of 3 working days. So the maximum date in which you should pay would be 22 of the month for the previous month, in order for fiscal authorities to have the money in 25th, when is the due date. Otherwise, there will be interests and penalties paid for paying with a delay, even if there will be small amounts. But again, why to pay it? We can use those money in other purposes, not to pay to fiscal authorities. How you can do this and how you can avoid being late on payment? For sure, establishing a clear fee system, payment system, would be helpful. Either it will be monthly, quarterly, annually, it doesn't matter, but you must have a payment system. Number 2 would be to have a good communication with your accountant, and each month after paying, after 5 days, let's say, ask for a file from fiscal authority system, because it is possible to see if your money are already there and if there are any debts or outstanding debts. And thirdly, but only if you can, because not many of us can do this, to create a reserve fund for paying taxes. Basically, you should not wait to receive the income of the money from your last invoice that you already submitted to the client, and to have some money extra to pay this on time. As a conclusion, I can tell you that mistakes can happen anytime, anywhere. It doesn't matter. They are common. What matters is to correct them in time, to submit all the money in time, and try to avoid fiscal controls by doing this. And do not forget that a financially healthy business starts with accurate accounting and accurate payment system. So, if you feel that you need support, that you need someone to be near you, to have a second opinion on your accounting files, you may contact us anytime. You can find us either by phone, either by email, either by coming to our local office in Bucharest or in Bacău. We can help you from anywhere, anytime. Also, you may write us all your concerns here in the comment area, or you can write on our email, office@mbv-tax.ro, or to my personal address, madalina.vlad@mbv-tax.ro. So, I'll be waiting all your questions here and on my email, phone, and so on. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we will speak soon.